Hi everybody, it's Heidi Hope and it's FAQ Friday. We had more questions than ever this week, so I'm really excited to get started with you all. And I thought rather than me choosing what my favorite questions are, that I would do a random drawing for you this week. So we are just going to draw names out of a bowl, and my lovely assistant and intern Brooke is going to help me out with that. But I want to start with this question first because it has been asked the last couple weeks, and I meant to get to it 2 weeks ago, and then I totally forgot. So it's something that I want to talk about with you guys because I've been saying that it's going to be part of FAQ Friday, and I just keep forgetting about it. And I think it's a really hot topic. Also, as a special surprise, the very last question that I draw of the day is going to win a free copy of the Creative Business Plan for Photographers. So you got to stay tuned till the end, and the very last name that we draw, which is going to be at the close of our time, whoever's name that is, they will get a free copy just for participating with us this week. So thank you all for your awesome questions, and I can't wait to get started. Okay, so we're going to start with Kim, and her question is a doozy, and I know everybody wants to know about it. Hi Heidi, I love FAQ Friday, and the splits are pretty epic. Thank you. I was wondering, do you offer a discount to friends and family on either your session fee or products? How do you handle a request from a friend or family member who expects you to work for free? Thanks. So this can be really difficult for photographers because here's what happens. We start our photography journey just because we love photography, and so we're like, do you want to come model for me? Maybe I can take a couple pictures. I used to do this a lot, like with any of my friends having babies and people, you know, my nieces and nephews and whatever, because in the beginning you just love, love, love photography, and you just want to practice on anyone who will sit in front of your camera, right? So the practicing is fun. And then when you decide to make photography your career, photography becomes your job. And some of that fun excitement outside of your 40 or 50 or 60-hour work week kind of wears off a little bit. So I definitely got to the point in my career where I was kind of feeling burnt out and overworked anyways with my own business, and then the thought of taking additional pictures in my free time, I wasn't feeling it. In fact, I actually leave my camera behind at the studio, and I don't even bring it home with me, and I hardly even take. People are always like, you must have so many pictures of your girls. I don't. I bring them into the studio for like important sessions, like their birthdays, or I occasionally will do a creative shoot with them once or twice a year, and our Christmas cards, and that's it. I am generally not taking a million pictures at home because it's part of my everyday job, and I'm trying to think, like, let's say your brother-in-law is a chef. Would you be like, hey, can you come over to our house and cook us a gourmet dinner Saturday night? Would that be so much fun? No, right? Or you're throwing a Christmas party. Would you be like, hey, could you just cater it for like 100 people? You just stop by, throw some stuff out, do whatever you want to do. You can have fun with it. No, because it's a lot of work and it's their job. So we wouldn't ask that of them. But I think because, you know, we start out with such a passion for photography and it seems creative and fun, people think like maybe you'll just want to bring your camera along to an event or something. So I don't shoot for free for friends or family, and I generally leave my work camera at work. If you don't have a place of work and you're working from home and you always have your camera, maybe you just shut it off for the weekends or don't bring it with you to family events. As far as friends and family discount goes, since we have a studio, we do have, it's not just me, we pay, you know, 5 people's payroll. We have overhead. We have the overhead cost of the studio. So as much as I would love to just shoot my friends and family for free, that alone, I could be doing that full time. So we just have a friends and family discount for our close family and friends, and we offer them a discount on all the products after, and you can make that anything you want, whatever you're comfortable with. You could make it 50% off, you can make it 20% off. Do your numbers and see what you still need to cover your overhead. I would say that you shouldn't go into debt shooting family and friends. So if you have overhead costs, maybe your discount could just kind of bring you down to break even rather than going into the negative. But I would certainly consider your time too, and if you have lots of time to donate, that's awesome. And if you don't have time to donate, then you should consider paying yourself for your time. I think especially if you have your own children and you have to get childcare for them or, you know, do something else with them while you're shooting for others. So I hope that that answers your question. And my family and friends have always really respected that of me. And I think that they still like hanging out with me even when I don't have my camera there. So maybe that helps. All right, I'm going to put this one down. We're going to draw our first one. So Brooke's going to come in here. This is so fun. It's like a game show. Okay, let's pull. Okay, we have hi from Canada, The most important question first. What is your favorite wine? This is such a good question. I don't know. I like all wines. I've never met a wine that I don't like. My favorite, for Cabernet, like for a fancy Cabernet, I really love Cake Bread. And for like an everyday Cabernet, I like 337. And obviously I like Cabernet, but I really like everything. So if you pour it and put it in front of me, I'll drink it. It's fine. Okay, and her real question is, next, do you have plans to come to Canada for any traveling workshops or speaking engagements? Pretty please, thanks, P.S. Love FAQ Fridays. I don't have any plans currently. Our children are still little, but eventually I really do hope to travel more. Sean and I hope to travel more together and maybe bring the kids along too. And I'm up for it. So if you ever see an opportunity you think I'd be good for it, send it my way because I'm getting good at traveling. Okay, we're going to put that one down. Brooke, back in for question number 2. Fun, just like Vanna White. Okay, Ilyana asks, hi Heidi, it's FAQ. Okay. Her question is, imagine you're a beginner in business but already have some customers and a schedule more or less filled. You have $2,500 US. Where do you invest that money? In a workshop, upgrade your equipment, studio props? Thanks. Okay. This is difficult to answer without knowing what you already have. So let's just say you have nothing but your camera. I do think, depending on the type of photography, and I see this a lot at workshops, that the camera body and the lens at a professional level, when you're in low light, difficult situations, they really do make a difference. I will be with 15 photographers. We all set our settings to the exact same thing. And people with a nicer camera and a nicer lens, their images look completely different than the people with a lesser camera and lens. Now, that's not true in every situation, but when you're working in low light, when you have a lot of noise, higher quality image sensor is really going to make a big difference. And I love shooting with prime lenses. So I would say get good lenses. Lenses first. Most important. Camera body, if you're working in difficult lighting situations, I really do believe it makes a difference in the quality. Post-processing, if you don't already have Photoshop, Photoshop processing my images in Camera Raw, or you could use Lightroom for that too. I think hugely important on the back end as well. And then I would also spend money on planning my business and getting policies, contracts, and that is all stuff that you can buy. In fact, we love Design Aglow has awesome stuff. Joyce Smith, Wordsmith for photographers. They've got great contracts and wording to use. So rather than hiring a lawyer to do all that stuff for you, you could buy those templates for a relatively inexpensive amount of money. But I think pricing, policies, and all that stuff should be in place first and foremost, and then so spend your money on that and then go from there. So I hope that helps. Okay, let's see. Adrian asks, hi Heidi, I'm addicted to FAQ Friday and I just love how you share your heart. Thank you. What was your defining moment that made you decide to hire a nanny and make your business a full-time thing? I'm really struggling with struggling. Okay, so there was no defining moment. I started the business as a stay-at-home mom, part-time, and then it got way in over my head. And business was crazy, and we were making good money, but we were working 1,000,000 hours a week. And in the beginning, it was very difficult. So I had, like, my mom took care of Julie. I couldn't even really afford childcare. We didn't have our business planned, and we didn't manage things right. So we were just trying to make things work. So my mom would take care of Juliana or my mother-in-law, and then we put her in daycare one day a week, and we were just all over the place. So before we had Grace, I said to Sean, before we even thought about having another baby, we were like, we need to get our business in order so that we're in a place where if I'm going to be working this much, that I have help at home. So getting a nanny didn't come about until with our second child and really organizing our business, and we made sure that our business could afford for me to be able to pay that child care. So that was the point where we were already full-time, and we did things the crazy wrong way first, and then we were like, whoa, backtrack. We need to plan our business, and we need to be able to make it so that it supports our lifestyle and our home and what we want to do with our children. So that's that. Okay, how are we doing on time, Brooke?
We're good.
Okay, good. Keep me posted like when it's getting close. Okay. Okay, Amber asks, hi Heidi, first off, I love your work and just your inspiration on being better at everything, not just photography. Thank you, Amber. So my question for you today is, I have a local OBGYN clinic that has offered us a spot in displaying some of our newborn portraits. I remember you speaking of how you have done this in the past, and I was wondering how you go about picking sizes. Did you go modern canvas gallery wraps or more classic with frames? Thanks so much for all of your help. Just a side note, every Friday feels like Christmas, getting so excited waiting on FAQ to go live. Woo! We love FAQ Friday too. It's my favorite day of the work week. So, I just dropped that. So OBGYN office. We have a display at our local OBGYN office as well. I did gallery wrap canvases for them because in the beginning gallery wrap canvases are less expensive than framing, and we did the size 20 by 30. There were lots of really big walls. So and in a huge room with high ceilings and big walls, like 20 by 30 I would say is minimum size to display your work. So we went 20 by 30 gallery wrap canvases from WHCC. They are beautiful. The only thing is, now, to swap out the work, I almost wish that we had invested in frames, because if we invested in frames, we would then only have to buy a new 20 by 30 print, which would be much less expensive. So when we do frames, like we could have done our organic bloom frames, and then we do the WHCC print mounted on styrene in it or foam board, but we can then frame that in those, and then I would just have to switch out the print, and that would be more cost effective to keep up the display up to date. Because we did canvases and they're such a higher price point, we're much less likely to change out the display. So looking back, I think that would be my advice, is to maybe go frames, but then you also want to match the decor of the office space, and you could certainly ask them if they have a preference between frames or canvases as well. Standout prints are another great option. Because they're a less expensive option for just ready to hang piece, and if you're going to be swapping things out. I've done a display with those before and it really came out beautiful. So I hope that helps. Is this our last one, or we still have more?
It's almost over.
I don't know who our last one's going to be. It's exciting. Okay, we'll do one more before our last one. Anna asks, hi Heidi, your Instagram photos inspired me so much with the backgrounds you've painted. It's been years since I've used my art background, but painting is one thing I have never done. What type of paint do you recommend to somebody just starting out with painting? I would say probably start with acrylic paint, and what I use on all those backdrops is acrylic. So acrylic paint is more forgiving than oil paint. It's less expensive than oil paint. It's less fumey. It's easier to clean. It's water-based. Oil paints are oil-based, and so you need turpentine and mineral oil, and it's just a whole mess. So I would just do acrylic paints, and you can get really cheap acrylics like in a craft store, and then you can move up to nicer acrylics. Watercolors are also beautiful, inexpensive, and easy to clean, but I wouldn't recommend them for the type of paintings that I'm doing in the studio. Because they're not as sturdy. Like once they dry, you wouldn't want to spill water on a watercolor painting, where you could actually spill water on an acrylic painting once it's dry. So I recommend acrylics, and just start with something inexpensive and then kind of move up from there. Okay, now it's our last one. Okay, it's our last one. Here it is. Drum roll. Elizabeth Drager, you are the winner of a copy of our business plan for photographers, and I'm going to answer your question, so it's your lucky day. So Elizabeth, just email us, please, Heidi@HeidiHope.com, and I will send you the information to download your free copy of the business plan for photographers. And for anybody else who is interested in it, it's awesome sauce. It's over on the Learning blog, so it's just HeidiHope.com/learning, and right in the menu you can see business plan, and you can check it out there. If you bought the business plan and you're doing it, I'd love a review from you. So head over to that same shopping cart and just leave me a little review. And you know how to reach me in the Facebook group too if you have any questions. Okay, Elizabeth says, hi there, love all your input and willingness to help and mentor the new aspiring photographers, so thank you. You're welcome. I'm wondering about all the amazing outdoor shots. I know you use only natural light, but do you utilize the use of reflectors on outdoor shoots? Thanks so much. We do bring a reflector outside. Sometimes we use it and sometimes we don't. The only time we really want to use a reflector is when the backlighting is so strong that there's no light on the subject's face, or if it's really strong side lighting and then I'm looking at the light on my face. There's really strong side lighting and then this side of the face is too dark or dramatic. We like more light, airy images that are a little bit more evenly lit for babies, where the stronger lighting is more masculine and more edgy and better for other types of portraits. So I will often use a reflector on this side to bring a little extra fill light into the face if I feel that the light isn't soft and even enough. But other things that can work besides a reflector, you could, if you wear a white shirt, that actually helps reflect a little bit of light. If you're at a location that has white sand or any light-colored sand or even concrete acts as a giant reflector, a white building, anything light-colored. You could even use a white sheet. You could use a big piece of white poster board. Anything that's going to bounce and reflect a little bit more light into your subject, you can be really creative with that out on location. But if I don't have a reflector, that's okay too. I'm just really move my subject around until they're in the best light possible, and I'm just always looking at how the light hits their face. That's what I care about. So I'm saying, is their face illuminated in this portrait? And that's what I'm always looking for. Thank you guys for all of your awesome questions this week and for joining me for FAQ Friday Live, and congratulations to Elizabeth, who has a copy of our Creative Business Plan for Photographers. Next week there is no FAQ Friday because I am going to be partying with my family on the 4th of July. I hope you all have a great 4th of July, but check in with our page because I might have a little something special for you for the holiday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.